All right. Welcome back to our world religion class. We've already, to this date, we've studied what is religion, and then Judaism, and then Islam. Today, we're looking at Hinduism. Hinduism. Worldwide, there are 780 million Hindu, and there are 910,000 Hindu in the U.S. Now, if you've got your book, Neighboring Faiths, we're starting on chapter 7, which is page 189 in your textbook. Hinduism, chapter 7 in your textbook, page 189. And there are worldwide 780 million Hindu, U.S. 910,000. Now, Hinduism is defined as the religion of India. The religion of India. Now, to qualify as Hindu, three things must take place. Number one, you must regard the Vedas as the record of religious knowledge. You got to accept the Vedas, V-E-D-A. Accept the Vedas, which are the early sacred writings. Accept them as divinely inspired and authoritative. Number two, you must accept the caste system, and we're going to talk more about these as we go. Number three, you must reverence and respect the various levels of deities and spirits, including the protection of cows. All right? So to qualify as Hindu, you must regard the Vedas as divinely inspired and authoritative, accept the caste system, where in the United States we have a class system. We have upper class, middle class, lower class, but in Hinduism there is a caste system, C-A-S-T, caste system. Then you reverence and respect of the various levels of deities and spirits, including the protection of cows, okay? C-A-S-T-E, I misspelled that, caste system. Now, what are the Vedas? Number one, the Vedas are the record of religious knowledge as developed over the centuries and revealed to the holy men, or the rishis, the holy men of Hinduism. Now, there are 4 Vedas. To qualify as a Hindu, you must accept the Vedas as divinely inspired and authoritative. Number one, there's the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Sama Veda, and the Athava Veda. The Rig Veda, or Rig means verses. So the Rig Vedas are the prayer hymns. The Yajur Veda, those are the mantras or short verses recited by the priests during sacrifices. The Sama Veda are songs and chants by the priests that refer to the soma, the S-O-M-A, the soma, which is a sacred drink. And this soma, a sacred drink, is said to give feelings of immortality. And then number 4 Veda is the Athava Veda. The Athava Veda consist of magic spells and incantations. So those are the 4 Vedas: the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and the Athava Veda. So to qualify as a Hindu, you must accept the Vedas as divinely inspired and authoritative. Number 2, you must accept the caste, C-A-S-T-E, the caste system. Caste are Varna, V-A-R-N-A. Varna means color. And in Hinduism, the lighter-skinned people assert their authority over the darker-skinned people. So the caste system of Varna means color. Now, there are 4 castes. You have your Brahmin. Now, emphasize M-I-N, Brahmin, for there's Brahman and Brahma, and we're going to say a little later what the distinctions are between those. So the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. The Brahmin are the priests and scholars. That's your higher class, caste. Then your Kshatriyas, and the K is silent here, It's Kshatriyas. They are the warriors and the ruler caste. The Vaishyas are the merchants and landowners. And then finally, your lowest class are the workers. They are the Shudras. The Shudras. And it is said that the Shudras, or the workers, exist only to serve the upper three castes. Any contact that they may have with the upper three caste groups of the Shudras is considered you would be defiled or unclean. As I said, in the United States, we have a class system. You may have upper class, middle class, lower class, and you can move from a lower class to an upper class. You work hard, live long, save your money, invest good, do what you do, and you can move up from a lower class to a higher class. And also in our class system, you can lose everything. You can go bankrupt. You can, the bottom can fall out of the stock market. You can go from an upper class to living on the street. Well, it's mobile, or you can marry into money in our class system, all right? Marry up, or marry good, whatever. But in the caste system, you cannot move up or down in the caste system. If you're born in that caste system, you stay in that caste system. And I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. The caste system is maintained by what is called the Code of Manu. The Code of Manu, M-A-N-U. Manu was the Hindu ancestor of humanity. Now, the Code of Manu is the guide or divine will for all humanity. And Manu writes in the Code of Manu, he gives sanction, the official sanction for the caste system. See, you cannot move out of your caste according to the Code of Manu. You can't switch castes. You can't marry outside of your caste. And, of course, the Shudras, which is the lowest class, the worker class, they have several subcastes, or jati, J-A-T-I, jati. All right? Jati, they have no standing in society, and they are even called untouchables. They're considered outcasts. They are so disrespected and discriminated against in society, it is said that even their shadow is believed to have the power to pollute a person in the higher caste if their shadow falls on a person. So those are the jati. They are the lowest caste in Hinduism. They handle the dead bodies, the poop shovelers. They do all the dirty jobs. Those are the Shudras, and the lowest class are the jati. And as I said, you can't move out of your caste. The only way you can change caste is through samsara. Samsara, or reincarnation. Reincarnation is the only means of change. Samsara means wanderings, or existence, or the endless cycle of life. That's the only way you can go from the lowest cycle of life to a higher cycle of life, is through samsara, or reincarnation. And what keeps a person there, it is called the law of karma, K-A-R-M-A. People talk about karma. Karma. In Hinduism, the law of karma is the law of cause and effect, which says whatever a person does in this life experience impacts the next life experience. A person who lived good in this life may come back in a higher life form. But if you live bad and did evil in this life, you'll come back as a lower life form. You'll return as a worm who gets eaten by a fish. All right? And then the fish gets eaten by a man. Karma is not judgment as sin against God, but karma is, in Hinduism, a natural law of consequence of your actions, either good or bad. Good karma brings good consequences. Bad karma may bring 1,000 years of you being reincarnated as a cockroach. That's bad karma. You don't want to have bad karma. Now, The caste system works and is perpetuated in belief that the lower caste shadows may have done something bad in their previous existence, so they must work it off in their present suffering. So that's what you're doing. You're working off the law of karma, the code of Manu. You're working off whatever did in your previous life form in this life form. And that's why, you have to be the best worker, the best servant, the best poop shoveler, the best whatever it is, so you can get, as we say, brownie points, and in reincarnation, you'll move up to a higher life form. And this brings up another word. This brings up moshka. Moshka means redemption or release from the cycle of reincarnation. Moshka is a release from the cycle of reincarnation. So once again, to qualify as a Hindu, you must accept the Vedas, you must accept the caste system, and then number 3, you must give reverence and respect to the different deities, spirits, including the reverence of cows. The reason why, that cow may be a reincarnated relative, a god, or an ancestor of renown. So you got to respect the cows. And there are over 330 million different, now get that, you write that down, 330 million different Hindu gods, deities, spirits that are recognized. For example, there is Ganesha. Ganesha is a Hindu god, has a man body, a human body with the head of an elephant. And Ganesha is known as the remover of obstacles. He is the remover of obstacles. All right? So, that's one of many Hindu gods. Also, in Hinduism, there are what we call the 3 phases of Hinduism, or the 3 ways of Hinduism. And let me tell you what they are. The 3 phases of Hinduism are the 3 ways of Hinduism. And they are the way of works, the way of knowledge, and the way of devotion. The way of works, let me write that on the board for you. The way of works, the way of knowledge, and the way of devotion. Those are called the 3 phases, or 3 ways. 3 phases or 3 ways of Hinduism. All right. Now, why are they important? Well, let me tell you about them. The way of works are detailed observance of laws, rituals governed by the priests. The detailed observance of laws and rituals governed by the priests. The way of works includes the Vedas. We talked about the Vedas, the verses, the hymns, the mantras, the magic spells, the sacred drinks, the caste system. Those are the way of works. Detailed observance of laws and rituals governed by the priest, or the Brahmin. The priests are the Brahmin. And then the second way or phase of Hinduism is the way of knowledge. The way of knowledge. You must observe these 3 phases or 3 ways. The way of knowledge, understand the 6th century priests demanded how God should be worshiped. And since they alone could perform the rituals, the priests became the center of the religion. Eventually, there was a revolt that took place against the Brahmin priesthood, and the ritual, what they call the words with no meaning, which is what the priests were doing. They had a lot of words that have a lot of meaning because the priests were doing these rituals. They moved into mysticism, and they interpret mysticism now as meaning with no words. And this mysticism became known as Upanishads. 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 Now, Upanishads are a supplement or an addition to the Vedas. Upanishad means to sit down. To sit down as a pupil sitting at his master's feet to learn. So they are an addition to the Vedas. All right? Also called Vedanta. Upanishads are Vedanta. Vedanta. Which is a supplement or an addition to the Vedas. Now, what do they teach? Number one, the teaching says Brahman is God. You got to remember this. This is the way of knowledge. It says that Brahman is God. Brahman, M-A-N. B-R-A-H-M-A-N. Now, we talked about Brahmin, M-I-N. Brahmin is the priest, but Brahman is God. This says that Brahman is God. Upanishad says everything that is not Brahman or God is not real. Then it says everything not real is called Maya. You got to remember Maya. Maya means it's magic, it's not real, it's an illusion. It's magic, it's not real, it's an illusion. It's play. That is what it says. Everything that is not real is Maya. It's play, magic, not real, and illusion. Everything we experience or think about rationally belongs to Maya, or that which is unreal. It's magic, it's play. And finally, Maya encompasses all physical objects, including our bodies. Maya encompasses all physical objects, including our bodies. Let me go through this again. The Upanishad, or the way of knowledge, teaches Brahman is God. Everything not Brahman is not real. Everything not real is Maya, which means it's play, magic, not real, and illusion. Everything we experience to think about rationally belongs to Maya, and Maya encompasses all physical objects, including your body. Now, at this point, I usually talk about a movie that was released not long ago called The Matrix. And before I really knew or understood the teaching on Hinduism, I watched the movie. I kind of got into the movie The Matrix, but the more I studied it, I saw that the movie has a lot to do with the philosophy of Hinduism. Now, let me go on. In Hinduism, deep inside the human soul, it is said under the intellectual, under the psychological, under the religious, is another reality which is not Maya. Now, Maya is what? That which is not true, it's unreal, it's magic. There's another reality which is not Maya. And that reality is called Atman. A-T-M-A-N. Atman. Atman is true self. Atman is identical to Brahman. Brahman is God. All right? So where true self resides, there is God. Now, in the end, liberation comes as one obtains moksha. Remember, moksha is redemption or release from the cycle of samsara. Samsara is reincarnation. And all of Maya, Maya once again, which is unreal. Now, at this point, once you're released from moksha, released from samsara, and you find your true self, which is Atman, which is identical to God, at this state of supreme bliss, that is called, here's another word. I know you've heard it before. Nirvana. Nirvana is a place or the state of supreme bliss. Nirvana. And if you remember the movie The Matrix, watch The Matrix. It talks about, everything around you. It was real, but it's not real. It's play, it's magic. You got to enter the matrix. The matrix, was not real. So I'm looking for my true self. I'm trying to find Atman. Atman is identical to God. And once I reach that place, I get to a place of supreme bliss, which is called nirvana. Okay? So, right now we're going to take a break, and we're going to pause, and when we come back, we're going to look at the way of devotion in the next section. Thank you.